Hey everybody, so I'm just doing a bit of battery testing actually on my car. But one thing I just wanted to pick up on was current clamps and zeroing. So sometimes what we find is if we are doing any sort of current measurement, sometimes our zero line or our reference line is sometimes off. Now, there are a number of ways that we can recalibrate it or put it back on zero. And obviously, the old style clamps used to have the button on them, but obviously the BNC Plus ones are all powered via the scope. So obviously they are automatically sensed within the software. So if we just have a quick look under the probes, you'll see that it's detected the 2000 amp clamp, and you'll see a button at the top called zero offset. Right? So that basically disconnects the power from the BNC Plus end and then basically resets it again. So basically even turns the power back on again. So it's doing like a hard disconnect and reconnect. Now, one thing I wanted to make sure and make everybody aware of was obviously the clamp should not be attached to the load prior to actually connecting the clamp to the scope. So where can this trip you up? One of them can be if you are connecting everything up to begin with, but haven't started the software. So that could be one situation. And what happens is when you actually first then connect the clamp, obviously around there, as the scope powers up, it is going to zero itself referenced to whatever load there is currently going through that cable. So, for example here, as you can see at the moment, we are pulling just under 1 amp, which is probably a little bit high for this vehicle, but it's not quite shut down yet. But equally, we have got a 2000 amp current clamp. Anyway, besides the point. Always just make sure that if you're about to do a measurement using a current clamp, any of the BNC Plus current clamps, you want it on zero. And we can see here that we are not at zero. So a quick way, again, just to put a zero line in, if we drag a ruler down from the top, go to our ruler overview, and actually you can type in a value. So we'll put in 0, and that will draw our zero line down here. Right, so with the clamp off the load, we'll go back to our channel settings or our channel options, go to probes, click 0 offset. You see it stopped the scope momentarily there. As you see, the status changed from running to stopped, and now we've got our zero line. So happy days. So then we'll put that back on the load there. And you can see now we're actually measuring a form of current. So again, we'll drag that line down to roughly about there. Obviously, it's not going to be that value, and this is obviously a very low current that's going through it at the moment, but actually we're using the 2000 amp clamp, so we're asking quite a lot from that clamp. All right, I hope that helps.